Welcome to this morning breathwork practice for beginners. I'm Jacko, an advanced instructor with the Oxygen Advantage. I've called this a morning breathwork practice because with the athletes and the clients that I work with, I always recommend setting the tone, the intention, and the habits for good quality breathing first thing in the morning to set you up for the rest of the day. But the reality is you could actually do this any time during the day or multiple times during the day. I just like to do it first thing in the morning to help set those intentions for the day with your breathing. So follow along with me over the next 10 minutes. I'll be taking us through two of the main components from the Oxygen Advantage that's important for beginners in setting this tone of good quality breathing. The biomechanics of physically how we breathe, and then the biochemistry in terms of how we're dealing with oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange within the body. Before we get into those two key elements though, the first thing we must get is awareness. And so this is why I like to do this first thing in the morning after having your shower or whatever you do, and stand in front of the mirror with your shirt off so that you can see visually what is happening and how you're breathing, as well as being able to feel it. So for the purpose of that, I'm going to whip this off and so you can actually see where my ribs are moving to help you understand where you should try and get yourself moving to. Right, so this is my full morning look, the bed hair and everything, like standing in front of the mirror, being able to feel what it is like and be able to see how we are breathing. So the first thing we're going to do is look at the mechanics of how we're breathing and making sure that we are ticking off some of these key basics that are really important in terms of being able to use the nose, being able to get the ribs moving to allow the space for the diaphragm, and then we'll get into the biochemistry where we're looking at the dealing with oxygen and CO2 exchanges. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to stand and you're going to just take a few, relax yourself out, just take a few breaths in and out. Shut the mouth and ensure to start with awareness being the number one thing. Breathing in and out of the nose. Just notice the air as it's coming in and out of the nose. How does that feel? And then how does the body feel? What parts of my body feel like they're moving? Is it my chest? Do I feel my neck, my shoulders? And then looking at yourself in the mirror, what you feel moving, is that matching with what you see moving? And then we'll just gain a bit of a closer awareness around, rather than breathing from the upper chest, we're going to try to breathe from lower down. We'll get into the detail of that. So put one hand on your chest, one hand just below your sternum where your ribs meet. Close your eyes to start with as you go a little bit internal, so you haven't got that visual feedback. Can you feel your upper hand moving, or can you feel your lower hand moving? Maybe you feel both. We're going to try to make the movement come more from lower down from the lower hand. So open your eyes. See what you can see moving. In and out through the nose still. Can you relax the shoulders, relax the upper chest, relax the neck, switch off the cheek muscles. Just send your concentration awareness to that bottom hand. And can you create the movement from there? And can you see that happening as you watch yourself in the mirror? And as you start to soften and relax the upper chest and the movement coming from lower down, breathing with the nose in and out helps us to breathe more calmly, helps us to activate the diaphragm breathing through the nose. There is a connection between the nose and the diaphragm. So you should start to feel calmer. The shoulders, roll them out if they need to, should be relaxed. The chest should be relaxed. And it's the bottom hand moving. Okay, then take the hands away. So you haven't got the physical feedback from your hands. And then just standing there, nice and relaxed. Can I feel the breath coming from lower down? And can I feel that the rest of the body is relaxed? Stay with that feeling of being relaxed and the breath coming from lower down, and we'll go into a little bit more detail. Some of the things I want to address first then, as you stand there, I like to do this standing because most of our life we are standing on, we are moving, and we want to be able to do that rather than always doing it sat down. Actually, being seated, sometimes it's difficult to sit with good posture, and that will affect our breathing. So I want you to posturally, I want you to try to stand nice and tall. So think about taking the top of your head towards the ceiling. So rather than being sort of like slumped, you're thinking about creating length all the way through the spine, lifting yourself up even through the neck as well. And then the tongue, we're going to put to the roof of the mouth, behind the front teeth, but not touching the front teeth. Okay, the position you're going to put, if you imagine you're going to make this noise, like that talking noise, where you put the front of your tongue just behind those front teeth, that's where you're going to put the tongue for this, or for all of your breathing. It should be the resting position for our tongue. Roof of the mouth, it helps stabilize the neck and keep the airway clear. So it's going to be behind the front teeth and flat to the roof of the mouth. To the tongue resting there. It's going to feel, if you're not used to it, it's going to feel a bit different to start with, but it is a natural resting position for the tongue. So with that long spine, tongue to the roof of the mouth, behind those front teeth, we're not touching them. As you breathe in now, you might feel it feels a bit easier to breathe from lower down there, and you might see that as well. Does it look easier? So that's just one thing. Next, we want to think about the nose, the ribs, and the diaphragm. So I want you to breathe in through the nose, but strongly, almost testing how blocked or free does it feel. And then test one nostril compared to the other. And then we're going to do 3 repetitions of the nose nodding, which is the blocking drill for the nose. We're going to harness nitric oxide that's created in the nasal cavity, not in the mouth, and that's going to help to open the upper airways and release your nose, make it feel a bit clearer so it's easier to breathe through your nose. Great to do first thing in the morning. Okay, so we go normal breath in, normal breath out of the nose, pinch the nose, nod the head 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let go and breathe in through the nose. You've held your breath, so it can be you want to breathe in a little bit faster, but try to breathe in calmly. And just notice, if you breathe in now, does it feel a little bit clearer? We've only done one, but it might feel, yeah. Often that clearness comes with feeling the cold a little bit more. So this time, if 10 felt easy, we'll go for 20. So normal breath in, normal breath out, pinch the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stop there if you need to. We keep going. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 20. Let go, breathe in through the nose. That was a little bit stronger, so it's going to feel a little bit more clear potentially. Don't make it stressful or challenging too much, but just so you're going to build up a little. We are holding the breath a little bit, but just pinching the nose to keep the nitric oxide that's created in the sinuses within the nose, and then we're breathing it in afterwards. Okay, 10, if that felt good, stay there, or 15, stay there. 20, if you feel comfortable, come to 25, maybe 30 with me for our last one. Normal breath in, normal breath out, pinch the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Let go. Breathe in through the nose. That was probably a bit stronger, so your breathing might want to be a little bit out of control. So it's one way to just challenge yourself a little bit and try to breathe in calmly from low down like we were doing. And then now retest. Ooh, yeah, that feels an awful lot clearer. You're feeling the effect of nitric oxide, which is a vasodilator, opening up the blood vessels in the airways. Okay, it also helps distribute blood within the lungs more evenly, so better transfer of oxygen from the lungs to the blood, to the bloodstream. So it's actually very good for that, and doing it first thing in the morning, helping to clear things up. So as we breathe in now, that airflow can feel clearer and easier. Okay, next we're going to look at the ribs and how these need to move. I want you to find your 2 lower ribs, so you can see them on me there, then I'm looking at trying to think about this, we call this the infrasternal angle, the angle they make with our sternum, our breastplate. On an inhale, we want this to widen because it creates the space for the diaphragm to move down. And on the exhale, we want it to come back together. And we also want the ribs to flatten down towards the rib cage. We don't want to be stuck up in extension, because if the ribs stay up in extension and flared out, we're keeping tension on the diaphragm. The diaphragm can't go back to its resting position, which is like a domed shape underneath where those ribs are, if those ribs don't come together. So the exhale is just as important as the inhale, okay? So with that in mind, I want you to find those ribs, give them a little bit of a rub to wake them up and tell them this is where we're going to breathe from. And just touching, rubbing, stimulating the skin around the outside of those ribs is going to help to send messages to the brain, because we've got so many sensory receptors in the skin, that this is where we're going to start to breathe from rather than from that upper chest, okay? So just relax out. I'm going to put the hands on the bottom of those lower ribs, and I want you to think about letting air come in through the nose, and I want you to push your hands out. As you push your hands out, you want you to feel the diaphragm moving down as you're creating the space for it to do that. And then on the exhale, feel the hands come back together as you relax. You relax on the exhale, it moves back, but also pull the ribs in. Breathing out, so breathing in, ribs moving out. Breathing out, just let the air fall out of the nose. Diaphragm goes back up to its resting position. You pull the ribs in together and pull the hands in together. Okay, so let's not forget, head nice and tall, tongue to the roof of the mouth. And I want you to, what you can feel, so close your eyes. What can you feel moving? As you breathe in, can you feel the ribs moving out? Can you feel the diaphragm moving down? And on the exhale, can you feel them coming back together? Can you feel your muscles relaxing? And then open the eyes, stay with that tall posture, tongue to the roof of the mouth. Visually, what you can see in the mirror, are you able to see what you think? Or what will often happen is we're breathing in and we are pushing the ribs out, but we're also lifting the upper chest, lifting the shoulders. Okay, so your cue, if you start to see that, is I want you to think about pushing your elbows down towards the floor slightly and just scooping them ever so slightly, sort of like downwards and forwards. It's going to help keep the shoulders down and help keep the shoulder blades in a nice position. So I'm gently, about 1 or 2% like effort, right? Really gently down and just scooping forward a little bit. It's going to see the shoulders sink down. And then now as I breathe in, the ribs move out. Elbows are staying down, keeping the shoulders down. As I breathe out, the ribs come back together. A couple more breaths like that. Match what you can see with what you can physically feel. Don't force the breath too much. It should be gentle and soft and relatively quiet, but feel the ribs moving out on the way in. Creating space for the diaphragm to move down, and then feel the ribs coming back together on the exhale. So they're the mechanics. So posture, head nice and tall, tongue to the roof of the mouth. Mechanics wise, I'm thinking about the ribs moving out on the way in to create this space for the diaphragm to move down, and air just enters in through the nose. The diaphragm moving down is pulling air in. We don't have to suck air in through the nose, and we've cleared the nose to make it nice and easy for that airflow to come in and out. For the final part, we're going to work on the biochemistry. We're going to come down to seated on the floor, because we're going to try and get nice and relaxed, or we can lie down on the floor as well. So lying down on the floor can be a lovely position to feel the diaphragm moving against the floor. If you have your feet bent and your feet on the floor and your knees bent, I just want to tuck your pelvis underneath a little bit so the ribs can just flatten down, and just rest your hands either on the floor, or it can be nice to just rest the hands on the ribs themselves, and you'll just feel your tummy and ribs moving ever so gently. But now for this final part, setting the intention, we've worked those nice mechanics, so just remember those. Head in a nice neutral position, tongue to the roof of the mouth. Just as read before, ribs moving out, Diaphragm moving down. But I want you to focus on relaxing on the exhales. Every exhale, just keep relaxing or sink into the floor. Feel the floor on your elbows, on your back, on your bum, on your feet, and just sink into the floor. Each exhale, relaxing calmly through the nose. So we're still in and out the nose. And as we just relax the whole body into the floor, our breathing as we relax will start to reduce, can be up to 20-25% reduction of breathing rates and amplitude of your breathing. So you probably feel less movement from your stomach and from your ribs and your diaphragm, and that's a good thing. We tend to over breathe too much and blow off too much CO2. CO2 is our stimulus to breathe. It's what the respiratory center in the brainstem is monitoring rather than option as to tell us to when to take our next breath. Slowing down our breathing and softening our breathing. There's a chance to help restore our tolerance to CO2 and become less sensitive to it. Great to do first thing in the morning. And any time during the day, you need to just chill out and relax. So now start to focus on the air as it's entering the nose and as it's leaving the nose. Notice on the way in, it's slightly cooler, and on the way out, it's slightly warmer as your body heats up the air. Notice the noise your front nose is making as you breathe in and relax on the exhale. Just tune into the noise and the airflow in the nostrils. And just try to soften the airflow. So it's a slower airflow, a slower breath. That might mean it's a longer breath. But as you slow it down, it becomes quieter. So tune into the noise that you're making. Keep quietening it on the way in. Keep it really relaxed and quiet on the way out. And as you soften more and more and relax more and more, your breathing is going to get quieter and quieter. You want to try and get to a point where it's silent, or at least very, very quiet. Enjoy that quietness. Enjoy the stillness. Give yourself a little smile. Smiling helps us relax as well. And notice that as you smile and enjoy that stillness and quietness, notice that your belly, your diaphragm, your ribs are only moving a tiny bit. You feel relaxed and calm. Breathing is gentle and quiet. Notice more saliva building up in the mouth as a sign of shifting into a relaxation state, a state of parasympathetic rest digest. Smile and give yourself a well done. That's a good sign. You've shifted to that nice, calm, relaxed state. Open your eyes, you've had them closed. Just wake your body up a little bit. Move your hands, move your legs, and then bring yourself up to a seated position. Hope you found that helpful, and it's something that you know, if you've never done it before, it's going to feel a bit weird at the start, just like anything, but if you practice this regularly, you could do this every morning for just, even if it's just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but you can follow on the full thing as many times as you want. It's a great opportunity to practice some of these things during the day as well, to change our habits, to change the way we breathe, because it's going to be able to change the way we feel, move and perform. And I'm on a bit of a mission to try and help breathing and breathwork be completely normal, not something we have to do sat down on a yoga mat humming, even though all that stuff is cool as well, obviously. But even for everybody out there, improving the way we breathe is going to help to improve the way the body functions, the way we manage stress, the way we sleep, the way we manage our emotions and thoughts as well. So I hope that's been helpful. I hope you're feeling better afterwards, and I hope some of those changes you're going to feel immediately, but understand that it's over the long term that you're going to make changes to the way you breathe, and in terms of those habits and those movement patterns that we're trying to develop. Functional, good quality breathing is at the heart of a healthy body and a good performing body, and whatever you want to be able to do. So I hope it's been helpful for you. Give us a thumbs up if you haven't yet. Any comments or any questions, put those in the comments, please. Obviously, I look forward to hearing from you and connecting with you. My email address will be in below as well. That's davidjacksonfitness@gmail.com. I've got a free Better Breathing ebook that you can download. It's got more videos and information in there as well. If you need any help with your breathing or have any questions at all, or if you think this has been helpful for you and you'd like to share it with a friend, please share it. I'd really appreciate that. Help spread the message, and on this mission of making breath work and breathing, or thinking about our breathing, normal. Because yes, it's something that our body will do automatically, but doesn't mean that we're all doing it right. And it's like having the handbrake slightly on. You take that handbrake off, everything feels good, and it's one of those automatic systems that's going on in the background. But we have the pleasure to be able to, and the blessing to be able to control the way we breathe, which is going to influence the way that the body functions and the body and the mind feels. So until next time, keep it nasal, and I'll see you in the next video.